Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning, and at the Palomo Hints house, that means that I make pancakes for my children. And since everybody is doing a lot of baking at home, and actually several people have asked me for a recipe, I thought that I would show you how to make some simple pancakes that are fluffy, that aren't flat, and we decided to put it on the Bloglish. So this is our first Bloglish video, maybe the first of many. We'll see how this goes. But here we go. All right. So I put out all the ingredients like a very good video guide does. And so I just want to show you really quickly. I will put a link, or there'll be a document with all the ingredients in gramos. But I am American, so I work with tablespoons, teaspoons, and cups. All right, but it'll all be in the document. So first we have 1 large egg. Okay, we have 3/4 of a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. In this case, I'm using sunflower seed oil. We have 1 full tablespoon of baking powder. Now that's levadura, baking powder. All right, that is one of the reasons why your pancakes are going to get fluffy, is we're using a full tablespoon. We have 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of brown sugar, although you can totally use regular sugar. That's not a problem. I'm just a fan of brown sugar. And then we have a cup of flour. All right, we're going to use a tiny bit of butter later, but that's only so that the pancakes don't stick. All right, so what we usually do in any kind of baking is we put all the dry ingredients together. All right, so with our flour, we're just going to simply add brown sugar, salt, and baking powder. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to sieve it or anything like that. You just kind of mix it up. All right? So that's done. Okay, now the important part for fluffy eggs is the baking powder, but it also is mixing this egg. All right, now you can mix it with a fork if you want, but it's Saturday morning and I'm not going to put that effort into my pancakes. So, like all good Americans, we have one of these, and we're just going to mix this until it becomes fluffy. All right? Okay, so you can see it's starting to fluff up, but just a bit. Not a lot, but that's enough for me. All right? So now I'm just going to add the other liquids. The milk, the oil, and you can even just go ahead and add all the flour and the other dry ingredients. Just make sure you get it off the sides. Now again, you can totally mix this by hand. There's no reason why you can't. But I'm going to use this. And that's the batter. That's it. That's all you have to do. Quick tip on spatulas. There are big spatulas and there are tiny spatulas. The tiny ones are way better because they're more flexible. So always get a tiny spatula. Okay, so this goes into the sink, and we can start preparing to make the pancakes. All right? So you can pause it. Okay, so we're back now with our grill and with a tiny bit of butter. And like I said, this is just going to help for them not to stick. I've tried it with olive oil. It just doesn't work as nicely. But I only put a little bit of butter, and that's the only time I put it, the first time. So, all right, we're going to have our grill heat up here. And so the one thing that I do to add a little bit of fun into these pancakes is I use chocolate chips. All right, and chocolate chips are chispas de chocolate in Spanish. And you know, like when your friends live abroad and they come home to visit and they pack their suitcases full of jamon, I pack my suitcase full of chocolate chips. And so they're kind of hard to find here, like almost impossible, unless you want to buy them really, really expensively in Madrid. So just take a bar of chocolate and mash it up. But I promise that this will like make the difference in your pancakes. All right, so now our grill is already hot, and I'm just going to put that butter on there and move it around to where I'm going to place my pancakes. And remember, this first pancake always comes out a little like darker and burnt, and then your second group of pancakes will be your nice silver dollar pancakes. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to take a little scooper here, and I'm going to put 6 pancakes here. Now you don't need a grill. I just use a grill because then it's faster and I can put 6 pancakes at once. Feel free to use any kind of pan. So as you can see, I'm putting 6 circles on here, kind of medium size. They're not too big, not too small. And then here goes the best part. So while I've just put them in here, you can already see that there's like little bubbles coming up. And I'm just going to plop the chocolate chips in there. Some people just use like cocoa powder and mix it into the batter. But then my kids don't get as excited. They like seeing the chocolate, you know, normal. Okay. So when you see the little bubbles coming up on your pancakes, that's when you need to flip them. It's not happening just yet. All right. I'm going to kind of bring you over so you can see the bubbles. All right. You can kind of see they're starting to form a little bit. All right. So I'm going to flip. I'm going to do it kind of quickly and flip it over. Now, obviously, the grills heat differently, but you can see that they're kind of really fluffy here. And again, that's because we beat the egg and we added a full teaspoon of baking powder. Okay? So, I don't know if you want to see them from the top. You want to bring it over? Okay, so you can kind of see. All right. And they're done. That's it. It's that simple. So what I'm going to do now, a lot of people would just eat them hot like this, no? And just give them to their kids. But we kind of like to have breakfast together. So I'm just going to keep them warm like this. I just put them in a plate, put a top on it, and they'll stay warm. Okay? I'm going to do another round of pancakes here. And in total, 2, 4, 6, 12, 13. you'll probably get like 14 pancakes from this. I have to admit, I usually double it up. And when I double it up, the recipe's just as good. All right. Okay. And your chocolate chips. And then when you eat, to add a little bit with the pancakes, we usually use syrup. Okay, now depending on your taste buds, if you use like syrup from maple syrup, obviously that tastes the best, but it's very sugary. This is the one we use, and we get this at Eroski or even a Macro. But what one of my daughters likes, because she's not as sweet tooth as the other one, is just this sirope de agave, and I think it works really nice, and it's kind of a lighter flavor because you also have the chocolate there. So, all right, so here I'm going to check. These are doing good. I'm going to turn them over, and you can see these are kind of a nicer silver dollar pancake like you'd get in any restaurant in Chicago. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you try it at home, and I hope your family makes a new tradition of eating pancakes on Saturdays like ours does. Bye.